Hey everybody, welcome to Trending with Suyo. Every week we'll have an interesting member of the community come and share thoughts on their career, passions, and lives. These individuals will give you a rare perspective on the challenges but best moments of their chosen paths. My hope is that these conversations will help inspire you to find your true calling. So join me and see what you learn. All right, guys, I know this is going to be a crazy episode because we all want to look fine, especially with summer around the corner. Do you guys want to get in the best shape of your lives, want to look good? Well, then you want to listen to today's episode because I have our amazing coach with us today. You're a transformational coach.
That's correct.
Yves, welcome to Trending with Suyo.
Thank you so much, Suyo.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
And you know what, Yves, I was just saying, hot gal summer is around the corner.
Yes, exactly.
So everybody want to look good.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
Help me to, look good. So the one thing that really stood out to me about you and what you do is the fact that your transformations are really amazing.
Yes.
And they're quick.
Yes, exactly.
So I've seen some transformations that you did was like 2 weeks.
That's correct.
How?
Yeah.
Tell us.
And I would say that's not even a transformation yet. That's just a progress picture. Yeah. But it's to just show the public how fast your body can adapt, but also can change if you change your diet and change your lifestyle. Yeah. So that's why I like to showcase these 2 weeks transformation. I would say progress just to motivate people to get into their best shape of their life, but also to change their lifestyle.
Yeah. So what makes you different from all the other trainers out there?
What makes me different? I'm super passionate about what I do, and I don't do it for the money, but I do it actually to change people in our community, to change the way they think, the way they perceive life, the way their views on nutrition, because I believe that the number one issue with most people in our community is nutrition, and that's the reason why people put on weight, and also their relationship with nutrition. So what makes me different is that I'm super hands-on with my clients, super hands-on. So I do weekly check-ins. I change their meal plans every 2 weeks. They have access to me anytime. So whenever they send me a message, if they go to the restaurant, if they go on vacation, they still have access to me. What should I do here? What kind of work that I can do when I'm in Cuba, wherever it is? I'm always on their side, basically, always there to help them, to make sure that they change their ways of thinking about this approach of dieting and nutrition, but also make it more of a lifestyle change for themselves. Yeah.
So it's like they don't feel like they're dieting. It becomes
exactly. It becomes more so what you do. It becomes part of your DNA, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you get into this?
I got into this when I was younger. I used to actually work as a loans and mortgage advisor downtown at I think it's King and Bay, right? BMO building. Yeah. And I used to go to the gym myself. Yeah. And one day I was approached by the manager. He's like, "Hey, would you like to become a trainer?" And I'm like, okay, sure. And at the same time, I didn't really like my job because it was a desk job. It was a 9 to 5. And I knew myself I would never be the type of person to just sit at a desk forever. But I always had a thing to help people. And that's what I did as a loan and mortgage advisor, actually. I was helping people over the phone. But so I became a trainer just because someone approached me, and then I found really big passion into it. Yeah. And then it turned into one and another thing, basically.
And the cool thing is, because I was going to say, when you told me that clients have access to you all the time, I'm like, how do you have a personal life? Yeah. But you're smart because you brought your wife into this business too.
That's correct. So my wife is a big help, and she actually alleviates a lot of the stress that I would say I had before in the past. Okay. So we are, I would say, like the perfect team, basically, right? Because we have the same mindset, and also we have a passion for it. And when I met my wife, she was already into the gym. She liked it. And then after that, I coached my wife even more on the experience that I had prior to her, and basically kind of give her everything one time, and then boom. So we became like the super team.
Yeah, the dynamic duo.
Yeah, having a balance of men and women. And then, sometimes women are more comfortable with a woman, which is totally fine. And then they can approach her. If sometimes, if it's a man, he can come to me, or even if it's a woman, it doesn't really matter. But
so one of the things that I've noticed that a lot, when I talk to even my friends, right, when they're talking about weight loss and stuff, they're always complaining because they're not motivated.
Yes.
And that's like such a big thing with like even not just losing weight, just even like someone who wants to build muscle or whatever. How do you keep them motivated, especially having so many clientele?
I was just having a conversation actually with someone about that. Motivation is not really what you want. It's trying to leave old habits and adopt new habits, right? Motivation is only going to take you so far. You're not going to be motivated every day, right? It's just like the best example is having kids. Not every day you want to wake up and change diapers and make milk, but you have to. So the more you discipline, the more that becomes part of you because you know you have to do it. So if you really prioritize or actually want change, you're going to do what you have to do, not what you want to do. So there's a big difference. So it's more so me coaching them on changing their mindset. Really, it's a mental game. Like the whole thing about training, nutrition is a mental game. It's not a physical game. So the more mentally you are available, the more mentally you are present, the better you will do physically.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people keep complaining that they're always so busy.
Yes.
So what do you say to these clients?
That's bullshit. Yeah, we're all busy. You know what I mean? We're all busy. I train mothers that have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I have one that has 4 kids. I have people that come all the way from Barrie. We're all busy. But if it's a priority to you, you will make time for it. You know, 1 hour of your day is only 4% of your day. I mean, if you can't create 3 to 4 hours a week for yourself just to better yourself as a person, I think that's being mentally lazy. Yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah.
And another thing is like a lot of moms come to you.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have like your setup where they can bring their children.
Exactly.
And I think that's amazing because I know that, some of the, I wouldn't say
Obstacles.
excuses. Oh, yeah.
Obstacles.
Obstacles is the fact that, you have children, you don't know anyone to watch them.
Exactly.
So you have the setup. So that's a brilliant idea.
I thought about this actually 3 or 4 years ago. It was just an idea of mine because before even my wife came on board, I train mostly women. By default, as a trainer, most of your clients are going to be women. You can have some men, but most of them women. And then most of the ladies that came to see me had kids. And I would always allow them to bring their kids, but it was always kind of hectic because sometimes the kids would come into the session, stop what they were doing, whatever it was. So I'm like, you know what? I thought about creating a space where mothers or parents, let's just be more general, parents could just bring their kids, train, but still have sight of their kids while they're training.
Yeah.
So another thing also I thought about, I'm like, what's the first thing a woman wants to do after having a kid? Get her body back.
Yes.
That's one thing for sure. But at the same time, you have a newborn. And it's hard to just leave your kid with anybody because it's a newborn. And some kids also require specific needs. They could have different, maybe she's still breastfeeding or whatever it is. So it's good to have a location where you can actually train and still tend to your kid while you train.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it. So now also we remove that obstacle, we remove that problem that was there before, and then now there's no more excuses.
Yeah. I love that though. That's amazing. And there's one of you, and I know your wife helps you too, and there's all these clients. So how does like the one-on-one training, like how does all that happen? Like how do they get time with you, or how does the sessions look like?
So each client, based on what they want to do or how they feel, you know what I mean? They would book their session. If they want one-on-one, they would have to tell us like their schedule, whatever works best for them. But we always require 3 sessions a week. So whether it's a one-on-one or group training, because we have different muscle groups that we work, but also in terms of training frequency, it's super important to be there to see what you want to see. And also for us to coach you so you can get the results that you want to see. So it's just really based on the client. Like we're very flexible. We have group training hours, and then also we have many slots that are open for one-on-one training. Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing. And for like, what are some of the misconceptions with the with gym and working out? Like,
there's a lot of them. I can sit here and maybe take over your whole episode right now and talk about a lot of things, and we'll go to sleep actually. But let's talk about maybe not eating after 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or not eating at night because supposedly you'll get fat. And it's always been a misconception. For a lot of people, and I would say mostly women are scared of that one. It's like, oh my God, 7 o'clock, boogeyman is gonna come. The next meal is gonna make me fat, and at 6:58 it's okay. So with that being said, the reason why actually that became a thing is because back in the days, health officials knew that the general population works desk jobs. They're not really active. So we're going to basically send out a message to the general population. We're not going to care about the 1%, 2%, the people that actually train. So when we're talking to the general population, we are quote unquote going to lie a bit just to make sure that the population doesn't go too crazy and that doesn't become overweight. So we're going to tell them that don't eat after a certain time, because most of those people sit at their desk job for long hours. Also live a very sedentary lifestyle. They don't move much.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to someone that doesn't have an active lifestyle? Clearly, they're going to have a lower metabolic rate. They're not going to burn as much calories. So for sure, most likely when they get home and they sit on their couch and watch TV, they're not going to make the best decision of food. It's not really about the time, but more so what are they eating at that time? Something that's more comforting, because they had long hours at work, they're stressed out. I deserve this.
Right.
BS. You get what I mean? And I'm on call it BS, right? So that's the reason why. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to how much calories you intake instead of the time of meal consumption. Okay. That's the most important part.
Yeah. And what about like strength training?
Strength training. What about it?
Like no, like if I go to the gym, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, is it true that, or is it a myth that you have to do more reps or like do this much a certain amount of weight? Like,
I mean, it all depends. At the end of the day, again, whether you do more reps or less reps, you expend energy. So at the end of the day, if I lift a 5-pound dumbbell 20 times, or I lift a 20-pound dumbbell 2 times, based on the level of exertion that I'm doing, I'm expending energy. So I can go more reps and take longer to expend that amount of energy, or I can go heavier dumbbell and do less reps and expend the same amount of energy. You get what I mean? So the goal in terms of strength training to get stronger is to put your body under tension. So the more tension applied to the muscle, the more muscle fiber your muscles recruit. So that's how you get stronger over time, and your body tries to adapt. So the more adaptation, the stronger you get. And then once the body adapts a little too much, then the exercise becomes more, I would say, less efficient. So you would have to go a little bit harder or maybe faster, change the tempo basically.
Okay. And what about like snacks, Yves? Like I have no clue on what snacks to eat when that won't ruin your gym gains though.
Ruin. That's very subjective, I would say, because anything can make you or break you with this whole nutrition thing. And that's a good question actually, because chicken breasts are healthy, broccoli are healthy, but you can eat too much broccoli and be in a surplus. You can eat too much broccoli and get too gassy. Do you get what I mean? So you can have too much chicken breasts, and it's protein, it's good for you, blah, 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 but it's too much calories, it's too much intake of whatever you're having. So once again, we fall back to how much calories, how much fats, how much protein, how much nutrients am I having on a daily basis? Does that meet my requirement amount of calories that I need on a daily basis to reach the goals that I have? You have to think about it as a financial budget, basically. It's not like saying like, what can I buy and not become broke, but how much can I buy of this and not really go into that deficit? In my bank account. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you control and you pay attention to what you can get away with or have as much of and still be within that limit.
And what about, like, I'm talking for the men out there that want to go to the gym, they want to build muscle, how do they start? Like somebody who does not know what to do.
You just start. It's just like a baby. You don't know how to walk. You don't know how to crawl. You just one day at a time. So your baby will, I would say, what do we call it when they're on the floor and they're just crawling? I guess kind of like doing that soldier crawl. Then after that they get on their knees, so they're crawling, and then after they try to hold on to something, and then they get stronger. So it really comes down to you telling yourself you want change, and you're going to go and you're going to try every day to do a little something, and that little something is going to compound into a bigger something. Then you have the child that now starts running.
But how do you know what to do? Like,
you don't know. If you don't know what to do, it'd be a good idea to come and hire us. Right? But we really teach everybody from any kind of fitness level, and we take our time with each client, right? So that's why we do a fitness assessment prior to actually training any client. We do an assessment just to understand where they're coming from, what their fitness level is, cardiovascular endurance, past history of any accident, injuries or whatever, and then we take it from there with that client as an individual. So even though we train people in a group setting, each client is trained as an individual. So that's how we work at each client.
So each client comes to you. How long are the sessions?
Sessions are an hour long.
An hour, and then you give them meal plans as well.
Exactly. Each client receives a meal plan based on their goals again, and then that meal plan changes every 2 weeks. Sometimes they do last for a month depending on the client, but we like to change them every 2 weeks so they don't get too bored.
And what about somebody who is losing weight? So let's talk about someone who wants to lose weight. Like me, I do not know any about the gym.
No
I always
problem.
tell everyone, like all my friends know, the only gym I know is Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. He's a funny guy.
So that's the only gym I know. So that tells you, Yves, where my mindset is when I go to the gym. I have no idea. So with somebody who wants to lose weight, what do you do at the gym? Like, just tell me like a few little here and there snippet tips that.
So what we do, I would say the most important thing is we work on all different muscle groups.
Okay.
And we do that different days. So let's say, for instance, you were to come on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday basis. On a Monday, we'll work your legs. And when I say your legs, we're working this muscle, your quads. So for a whole hour, we work your quads. We do different exercises that actually strengthen your quads. But also we understand that the quads, the leg is a big muscle group. So we're talking about energy expansion. So when we train big muscle groups, we expend a lot of energy, which helps us oxidize body fat, which helps us burn calories. And that's how we lose weight. Then on a Wednesday, if you come again, hopefully you do, we work back, shoulders, and triceps. So now on your upper body. And super important to work your upper body because you don't want any imbalances with your body at all, right? So we make sure we target every muscle group. Friday, you come again, we work your glutes and hamstrings. For men, we'll work chest and triceps. And same concept again on a Wednesday with men, we'll do back and shoulders. So we make sure your whole body is actually involved. It's not just like one muscle group. It's not like we just pick and choose something that we like. It's really to create balance with your body and your physique.
Oh, that's good. So each individual has like a type of needs that you're.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's nice. That's good. Okay. And what is the future plan for Yves?
Future plan for us is to open up more location because we really want to cater to families, to parents, and make sure that everyone is able to go to the gym and feel good, feel confident in their body. I think that's a big issue with everyone out there, I believe. And I always say most people go to the gym because they want to look better, right? So we want to make sure that we're able to make people feel good about themselves.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are changing lives out there. Everyone, I feel like you look good. That's when you feel good, and then
that's exactly what it is. You know, sometimes I don't think about it like that, and sometimes it strikes me. I'm like, wow, like I've helped this much people. But I got so used to doing it, it's just like whatever. But it's like, wow, like. People send you a message, hey, now I'm able to pray. I'm actually able to go on my knees and pray. Something I've never thought about. Oh, I'm able to actually see my belly button or something like that. You know what I mean? So the craziest things you've never heard of becomes the biggest blessing for other people, right? So I love being able to actually give back in a sense where I'm able to help you see potential in yourself.
You're changing lives like you don't even realize. Like
it's just like, you know, we go to the gym, blah, 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 but like you're actually helping people. And
one of another really thing that I come across that people always say when they're working out is, or losing weight, is the plateau. So they always get stuck and they're like, oh, I used to do this before and I lost the weight so easy. How come it's not working now?
So there's something called metabolic adaptation. And basically, whatever you do, as I said, becomes less efficient. So you used to do that before you whatever, and how long ago have you done it, and how long ago you haven't done anything. So people live in the past a lot without realizing that it's been 5 years, 10 years of inactivity. You can't really compare what you used to do when you were 18, 19, or 20, and then now you had a baby at 25 or 30, and you haven't been active at all. A lot of things change in women's hormones. So when you don't do anything for a while, and you say you plateau, right? You plateau, it's because your body has adapted to your current lifestyle. So therefore, there's no need for progress. There's no need to try to change anything. There's no need to seek new adaptation. So the body is just at the set point. So you have to change that. So therefore, you have to go back to the gym, train a little harder than you used to, build more muscle mass. As you build more muscle mass, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. So the whole point of actually strength training is to pack a lot of muscle so you can actually just be like this right now and actually lose weight. So more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. And that's why muscular people can get away with eating more food because they have more muscle density. If you have more body fat, you can't. It's not going to work the same, but we can fix that by changing your metabolic rate by training. So with over time, with clients' meal plans, they actually change and go up in calories and they don't decrease actually. And another reason why people plateau is because they keep eating the same amount of calories. You can't reach a higher amount of increase your metabolic rate if you're always in the same set point of calories. your body will get used to that. So there's no need to actually burn more calories.
Gotcha.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a big issue with a lot of people.
Yeah.
They eat the same way all the time. They don't train harder. Their training is the same way, and that's why they're stuck.
See, this is why you need a professional, because
Yes.
we didn't know that.
Yeah. That's okay. That's why we're here.
Yeah. But Yves, another cool thing that you guys do is you offer online classes.
Yes, we do.
About that.
Yeah, online is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I would say it's not for everyone. And I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays everybody just tries to sell whatever they have to sell. But I'll be honest, it's not for everyone. It's really for people that are mentally ready. People that know that they want to do something and they're actually disciplined. Because now we're going back again to discipline, not motivated, because you can be motivated. At first you'll be happy, yeah, whatever, I'm losing 5 pounds, this is cool, new meal plans. But after that, you don't have that motivation again, and you don't actually stick to the game plan.
Yeah.
You know, you told me you wanted to lose 20 pounds, you told me you wanted to be ready for this party or go on a vacation or whatever it was. And then after that, motivation goes like this.
Exactly.
But the discipline will always stay there. So your discipline, it's really for people that are disciplined. It's for people that actually are mentally ready. And I coach people all over the world actually with my online training, people in Africa, Hawaii, in Europe, a lot of people in the States.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like people from all over the place. Yeah, so different time zones, but same results.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So I know your goal is to retire early.
Yes, actually in the next 2 years. Yeah, so that's the goal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. But I'm still going to be helping people, but behind the scenes.
Yeah. And what is like looking back at your journey?
Yeah.
Did you know that this is how your life was going to go? Like,
no, not at all.
Say to your younger self.
No, I would say I was always a wild one, in a sense where I was not really conformist to like society and everything that goes around. So I knew for sure I would have done something along the side of just doing myself.
Yeah.
You know, I had my first business in high school. I used to sell shoes. I would buy shoes in China and I would sell it to friends in high school. Wow. So I would actually make money. I would leverage basically off of no money. I would show them pictures of shoes that I could get. Yeah. They would give me a deposit. So the deposit was actually the cost of the shoes. When the shoe came back, then I would get my money from them. The next half, which actually was all profit. So I actually didn't even pay for anything. And I know a lot of people are doing that with like this whole like Amazon stuff and like whatever it's called. But I was doing that in high school and I didn't even know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I always knew I wanted to do something like for myself and also help people, whatever it was.
So what advice would you say to the viewers watching that want to be like you?
They want to be like me? I mean, in life, if you want to go for something, you really got to be passionate about it. And I did this because I was really passionate and I wanted to change people's lives. And I have a love for humans, like in a sense where as a human being, I always say, like, what are you doing to better the human experience? And that's meaning, what am I doing to help my neighbor, to make sure that they're okay? And then if we all think the same way, you would do the same for myself. You get what I mean? So my life is not for me, but it's more so for others. So the more we think that we can help others, we help each other as a whole in society and in the world. So my mindset has always been, how much can I help and how much can I make your life better? You know, so that's my mindset.
I love that. I love that. So the last question I have for you, if somebody has only like 30 minutes to train, what would you say would be like, is there like the top 5 exercises?
Yeah, I mean, you have 30 minutes to train. Make sure you target your legs, make sure you target your back, make sure you target your shoulders, and make sure you target your core. So I would say I would do squats, I would do push-ups, I would do some bent over row, and maybe even chin-ups, something like that. Yeah, so those movements will actually help you a lot, right? They're compound movements. They actually target more than one muscle group. And you want to do it in a fast pace where you take probably, say, 40 seconds to a minute rest, but you can actually get a crazy good workout in 30 minutes. And this is, again, like where you don't make excuses. Oh, I only have 30 minutes, so blah. It doesn't matter. Just get something done. And the more you do it, that 30 minutes will compound and you will see the difference. Yeah, so 30 minutes is actually a good time to train if you do it effectively.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how often should you be training?
I would say you can train every day as long as you do different muscle groups. But now if you're doing like the things that we just talked about, like a 30 minutes workout, which is a whole body workout, I would say, let's say, do it Monday, rest Tuesday, do it Wednesday, rest Thursday, and do it Friday.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you're doing a whole body workout.
Take your advice, eh?
You should.
Next time you see me, I'll be like, how's the
just
thing
make sure
already?
you tag me.
100%. They're my witness. I will.
That's it.
So thank you so much, Yves, for being here today on Trending with Suyo. And you taught us so much. You taught me because I had no idea about any of this. So thank you so much. I know you are definitely helping the people that are watching
Yes.
And you're going to get more clients out of today. So you better not forget me, eh? You better not forget Trending
I'll
with
never
Suyo.
forget you. So I get a client, you get a free session.
Okay, there you go, guys. Thank you so much again, Yves.
No
Is there
problem.
anything else that you want to say?
Make sure you guys follow the Fitness Loft on Instagram, 3D Fitness, and Shauna M Fitness. And make sure you come check us. We'll actually help you. We're not on that bullshit.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching Trending with Suyo and hearing Yves' story. Make sure you guys do follow him and follow Trending with Suyo. And I will see you guys next week on another great story. Bye.